Good morning. I might get a phone call, so I might have to drop off, or I might drop off because I'm still super bloated from this edema. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. I don't know. I've had a lot of doctor phone calls, not doctor phone calls, but like insurance phone calls this week, trying to get the next stage of my life situated. So I've been listening to this. I've been trying to come in with, you know, just open ears. And the one person who keeps talking about it over and over again is Yaba. And the stuff she said this morning didn't really make any sense to me. For example, she said that she turned Keemstar down for an appearance, I guess, on Locale Live. I don't know what that is. That's the first I'm hearing of it. And she said she wrote about it on Twitter. So I went looking for the post, tweet, X, whatever you guys call it, whatever the kids are calling it this day. Um, and I don't see her replying to anything. I don't see her screenshotting any sort of conversation that she had with Keem about. So maybe he'll address it on his show and talk about whether or not she was actually invited to come back. I thought they left it at neither of them wanted to come back because A, they weren't going to get paid, and B, the way his lives are set up, you can only submit a comment if you are a paid member. So they felt like that was, well, I know Frenchie did, that wasn't fair to the audience to try and shuffle them around for different interviews on these different locale shows and have the audience have to register as a member for each channel. That is kind of a ripoff. So, but I digress. It's hard to know, Yabo, what you're talking about when you just randomly put something out there and there's no screenshot, nothing that you're replying to. I have no idea what you're talking about. Were you invited? Were you not invited? Yes? No? You start going into a tirade about your ex husband, saying that Keem's going to go balls to the walls, basically dragging her about the ex husband. And you gave us some more information, at least I had not heard it, seen it before, about this situation that is a little bit more eyebrowsing than what I had heard before. So she said he was caught on what was essentially like a baby monitor cam in her room, and that it's happened to multiple children, all in the same location, different locations. You want to give us some more background on this, because I had always believed, based on what you were saying and what other people were saying to defend you, was that you didn't even find out um, until basically you were already separating with the man, right? Or you found out and then separated immediately, right? So maybe we need a little more explanation on exactly what happened here and how you found out there was multiple children involved. Also, if there's a babe sleeping in a crib, I think that's what she said, alone with the monitor, and he comes up and does something, I would assume that you are already allegedly aware at this point that he has some level of drug problem. I would assume. So why would he be allowed access around a child by himself? And who else was in the house actually watching the child? Right? Okay. My ex-husband uh, was also an addict, and he wrote. He could tell like I was going to divorce him. I was saving up the money. I was getting ready to kick his ass to the curb. And in fact, by this time, I had. He was out. But he came over with this long letter telling me that it was my marital duty as his wife to support him through hard times and the good times. And that, yes, he had an addiction problem. And that, yes, he had a drinking problem, and so on and so forth. And I said, well, thank you. And I went to go inside, and he whipped that letter out of my hands so fast so that I could not give it to my attorney. A lot of us have had to deal, fortunately, he never had alone time with my son, not once. Because even when we did finally divorce and he got visitation rights, I made sure that our agreement included that I could ask for a drug test and alcohol test at any time, and he would have to complete it within 24 hours. So, if you want to keep bringing that up as some level of excuse for why other people are mean to you or whatnot, um, get the story straight because it's hard to follow right now. Now let's switch to what you've been doing since you took a Twitter argument that you shouldn't have been a part of in the first place and brought it to YouTube. Since then, you have decided you hate Canadians. I don't know how that's affecting your subscriber numbers. I guess somebody's keeping track of this or whatnot. I have no idea. But you're surprised that there would be members of your audience who would be offended by this type of behavior, by saddling up with anti Semites, by not understanding that Jewish is a race, by making light of these things. She also has like she's got like people who are repeating a story for her. Well, those are really old videos. They're from like a year ago. Really, a year ago. We just celebrated Scatmas, didn't we? That was from a year ago. Okay. Well, at the time that they came out, do you think that Frenchie needed to personally contact you and let you know that was happening? Or was it more so when you had a conversation with her to let her know that you were going to start collaborating with these anti Semitic people from the bodega, at which point she brought the videos back up, right? Then you started calling her a dirt neck. Can you tell me in what context you're using that expression? Can you tell me, Yama? In what context are you using that expression? Are you claiming she's dirty? Is that what you're saying? Or are you using it to claim that she's untrustworthy, which is a very common, hateful, Jewish directed trope? Hmm? I had never heard the expression dirt neck before. You started spreading it. So I looked it up. And there it is. It's somebody who is untrustworthy, Yava. So you're leaning more and more in to the anti Semite position. I don't even know what to do with this, but I unsubscribed from her channel. Um, she apparently is doing some sort of panel coming up. Has at least stopped saying that it's going to be about Frenchie, but I think that that is the intention, is to bring in everybody who's ever had a beef with Frenchie and just let them go to town. You're losing this argument. You're losing. And you are looking ignorant as fuck. Um, if I were you, I would say I need to do more reading. I am so sorry, Frenchie. I had no idea that it was this deep, right? You mentioned something about Charlie Gold having a beef with French Fried Girl. I don't know specifically what that was, but if you're saying that she threw out anti Semitism as a part of that, maybe you need to start looking up the history between black villages and Jews who had to immigrate from Nazi Germany and gentrify their communities, and why there might be some tensions between those two groups, two races. Yaba. It's ugly, you guys. Holy crap. All right. Landscaping crews here. I'm not going to be doing this all morning, but for her own sake, for the channel, I hope she reels it in. I don't think her audience likes it when she's kicking Canada. She's been doing that for a few days now. It's really petty what you've been doing. I'd like to see you go on Lil Cal Live, because I don't think he'd put up with it. You know he's pretty tight with Ethan Klein. How do you think he'd feel about this? Hmm. All right. Well, it's Friday. Let's see how this goes, y'all. This is a short live stream. I'm expecting a phone call this morning, and so I can't be on forever. And I'll try and get some content done later today. And Chantel, don't fucking talk to us about food anymore. Nobody fucking cares. And you are absolutely not a foodie if you get excited about McDonald's and all the crap that's out there. That's not being a foodie. A foodie is somebody who's trying something exotic and new and talking to the chef. Go watch some Anthony Bourdain videos. God. All right. Y'all have a nice morning. It is supposed to get to 70 later. Thank goodness. Take care, y'all.